The last time we had passed Santa Fe. We were going from Los Angeles. I'm sorry, we were going from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, LAX. And we had to abruptly leave. I do remember passing Santa Fe on the way, so we're going to try to take off on this very short runway so that we can complete the trip. So we're going to go try to set up a few things. Kind of how we had it the last time. I usually do this in the air, but I'm going to try it down here to see if it's going to be easier on me to fly this thing. Try to set some of these things up. We want to get this thing at 40,000 feet is what we want to set it to. Or if we can stay somewhere around there, we'll be good with that. So like I said, I am a rookie. I'm a noob at this, my kids would say. So give me a break. Don't beat me up, professional guys. I'm learning how to do this. I'm just trying to get this thing in the air and keep it in the air is what I'm trying to do right now. So don't beat me up. I want you guys to help me so that I can be as professional as you guys are in this, because I really want to learn it. I'm just, like I said, I'm playing on a Series X on a controller, and I'm just trying to get this thing in the air and get from destination A to B. So yeah, you guys can help me. I will definitely take your advice. And then we go from there. Hopefully I have enough space on this runway to be able to get this big bird in the air. Like I said in the last stream, I am used to flying the passenger jets, so this is all new to me, and I don't think I'm going to have enough to get this thing in the air. We're going to see. I'm going to try it. Let's see if we can get it off, and I know it's not professional. It doesn't look the way it needs to look. But hey, we got it in the air. Hopefully we can keep it in the air.
747 continue for west departure.
Hopefully it doesn't stall out.
747
Yeah.
reading my airspace frequency change approved.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. So we'll see. I have that pitch already set as well. So hopefully we can pick up enough speed to be able to get this bird in the air. Oh man, rookie, right? Looks like we're doing a decent job now. Or at least, decent to me. We're trying to get it though. I'm gonna learn, guys. Don't beat me up, guys and girls. I'm gonna learn. Looks like now we're going to be approaching 10,000 feet.
Boeing 747, did you copy?
Santa Fe Tower, Boeing Alpha Sierra, 747 frequency change.
Beautiful land out here, man. We're getting up to the mountainous area. Very pretty out here. 10,500 feet. 10,000. Well, we're at 11,000 feet now. Just look how pretty that thing is. So we'll get in here and try to make some adjustments. Some of these things off. Man, I forgot to fix my sensitivity. It's okay. going to set the heading at 255. Find it. There we go. So we're looking at just over 606 nautical miles on our way to our destination. I'll calm this thing down a little bit. We're up over 16,000 feet. We'll see where this thing goes out at. Looks like it's climbing pretty decently. Drop down to about 68. See if we can make that climb. We will adjust if we need to. Let's recheck our pitch. I believe a little. Oh no. All right. Set the pitch. Oh, 12. I tell you, this stream doesn't do this thing justice, but the graphics of this Series X is amazing. It's amazing. Look at the shimmers off of it. And we do have live traffic on. Just assuming that there's not a lot of people playing this game in this area. I guess on the servers that I'm on, I'm going to assume. So we got the heading set at 255. Got the trim at 13. We're going to end up going up to 14, but I don't want to shoot it straight up in the air. We have the engines at 68. So we have a nice progressive climb here. Graphics is really good on this. Shadows, reflections. Beautiful Boeing 747. It is tremendous. A little bit. Looks like she's gonna level down a little bit. We have the door closed. I believe the 737 will allow you to go to the back of the plane. Don't know if you can open the door, so any of you veterans at this game, if we can open the door. Just know, we try. Yeah, I don't see a way that I can open the door. There may be a latch or a button. Where, let's see. It's not doing anything. I'm not sure if we can open the door. I kind of wish I would have flown a little smaller plane so we can kind of get a little bit closer to the mountains. That would have been beautiful. Maybe we'll do that on another flight. I'm sure we will. You know, fly the Rockies. Find another range, or something like the Grand Canyon, and try to fly that with a smaller plane. It'd be pretty neat. Approaching 23,000 feet. We're closer to our heading, 255. We're inching there. wish we could get some wing shots from this plane. It's like we're stuck here. I was talking on mute. Alright. We were sitting there adjusting the glare shield. Didn't really notice much of a difference. Anyway. Get back to our heading at 255. Dropping a bit, so I'm going to pull this thing up to 14 like I wanted to do earlier. Let's see what we get. Don't want too much of a slope. Want to gradually get there. Probably should have did it by halves, maybe 13 and a half, and let it settle, and then 14. Because that is a tremendous slope. That is a tremendous slope. So you know your passengers are going to feel that. Maybe 45 minutes into a flight. So. We are high in the sky. Really would like to learn this auto throttle thing. I don't see it to be working. Turn that off. I don't think it was doing anything anyway at that point. thing to settle down in a minute. Look at this beautiful world. Shadows look really good on this. We were talking before we left on the last stream. The abilities of the Series S with this. I'm gonna test it, go in the other room and test, you know, around the same time frame, same plane, go in the same direction, try to be in the same area, and see if we get those shadows. I don't know how it's coming through on the video because it's only in 1080p again, but it is tremendous what these Xboxes can do. I mean, you know, I honestly, you know, just playing the games since last February on the Series S, looking at about what, 10 months. A little over 10 months. I would compare that Series S with this capabilities to about $1,100 gaming PC. No, that's not top of the line. But if you want to compare it to a PC, it will blow an $800 PC out of the water. Those starter packs that you get from Walmart or Best Buy, it will blow those things out of the water in most cases. I would compare it to, you know, being able to run this game and those types of things like that, Forza game and all of that. I would compare it to about a $1,100 computer. I think that's a good way to compare it. Of course, those are my opinions, but that's what that console feels like. No, it's not a 4K console. Most things running about 1440, which is really good. You'll get some of those games that are upscaled there, and sometimes you can't really tell that it's not a 4K device, at least for me anyway. So it does a really good job. It's extremely fast. It loads tremendously fast. I think it's a great device. Game Pass. Oh man, Game Pass. I was on the fence just before I got Game Pass because, you know, I just wasn't interested. I was looking at it as renting games. I want to rent games. Well, I've been lucky because every single game that I want to place has stayed on Game Pass, and we've even added more games. So I haven't had to buy but one game that I want to play, and that is Farm Sim 22, which I can almost guarantee is going to be there pretty soon. I bought 19, Farm Sim 19, and they ended up adding it to Game Pass. And I bought 22, which I can almost guarantee that it's going to be added to Game Pass. Yeah. Who's this guy ahead of us? Wish I could see his gamer tag, but he's so much higher than we are. Won't be able to see him, I don't think. Alright, let's set this thing up. I really want to get to 40,000, and I don't think 14.2 is going to do it. I'm not chasing my guy. I really want to get this plane up in the air. I think we need to give it a little more juice to be able to do so. 48% fuel. We got nearly, what, 560, nearly 560 nautical miles to travel. So we want to conserve that. I may go to the auto thrusters in a little while. I just want to get this thing up to height and hold it. We'll put the auto stuff on. I know it's taking me a very long time to get to height. go ahead and try to accomplish that now. And once again, you veterans, you can help me with that, please. Please help me with that. I'm trying to learn and give some good content for you guys and girls. Provide some good content. Hope the stream is coming through clear for you all. Should be running at 1080p. We're streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. If anyone is on either, join me in the chat. If you got some advice for me to help me out, I would greatly appreciate that. I really want to get up to 40,000, and I really want some wing shots. So if that is possible in this plane, please let me know, and we'll try to do that. I don't see a way to open the door again, so if anyone knows how to open the door, I believe the 737 allows you to go to the back, because I've done it before. I thought it was this craft, but maybe not. So I'm going to try to get this big bird up in the air, get back on our heading so that we know we're going the right way. Expect our heading is 255. So we have invested in a condenser mic. We're still working on situating. Not very happy with the hissing that we're getting, so we need some help tying that thing to an Xbox. We may need to go through OBS to be able to get that to work, so that may be an option for us. We're setting up that site. We also have invested in a camera that we're going to be putting on to kind of open this thing up for people, and you know, just make this a little better experience. I hope that it will be a better experience. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this plane do what it wants to do naturally. I'm going to put the auto thrusters on, turn the lights off so I can't see it anymore. Auto throttle. Let it do its thing. Have altitude hold on because I haven't gotten to where I want to be. Put that on. See if that helps us. And we'll see what these engines do if they take us to where we want to go. I don't know if this plane wants to fly at 40,000 feet. Let's see. It wants to be around 35,000. Which is a pretty natural spot for that plane. Did not know that. So let's drop it down to 35,000. And let's try to sit there. Maybe that'll be a more natural state for the plane. So I've learned something. 35,105 is what I've just found on Google. I don't know how accurate that is or not. climbs to 40,000. But you're just pushing it. I believe it had 45,000 on the list here. I think it could do that. But you never want to stress these. You never want to stress it. You know, and I understand that the ATC and whoever guides the planes lets them know what altitude they need to be at certain times and those types of things. And I understand that there's flight plans and waypoints that we need to follow. But right now, I'm just doing a straight shot. Just really trying to get this thing in the air, try to learn how to fly this plane, and those types of things. So whenever once again, the experts can come out and help me, I will take your advice. Beautiful world, beautiful country, beautiful world. Blue light glasses. I would like to know people's take on those, and do you feel like it distorts what you're seeing with those yellow and different hues that the glasses, the tints have on them to block that blue light? Does anyone care about their picture quality when they wear those glasses? I understand why we have the blue light glasses, to block the harmful blue lights out of our eyes. But does those things take away from your experience too much? Just want to see what people's opinions are on those. Right now, as you see, we have an airspeed at about 200, and we're approaching 35,000 feet. We have our auto thrusters on, altitude hold set, and we have 35,000 feet set of altitude, and we are cruising. The original flight was from Las Vegas to LAX. We had an abrupt stop, and we took off from Santa Fe on a very short runway. It was very clunky, but we got the thing up in the air. Emergency takeoff, we had to get it, and we did it. But we got the thing up in the air, and we are now exceeding a little over 35,000 feet. I think we can bring this down a little bit. 14 and a half, and maybe leave it there. Maybe go back up to 14.8, but we'll see what this does for us. I think we're gonna have to do that already. 14.7, see if we can hold that. Trying to do 35,000. Looks like we're holding pretty good here. With an airspeed of 204, 203. Look like we're rolling the way we need to. Our heading is 253. We want to be 255. We're going to adjust a little bit. We don't have any autopilots on. I rocked the boat too much. We may have to do a rudder adjustment, because we keep slipping back over to the left. 253. I usually catch it when we get about there. Go ahead and make a slight rudder adjustment now. So I hope I do this correctly. Let's see which way the plane tilts. Looks like let's see, if it creeps back over to 253, then we know that positive is going to the right and negative is going to the left. I believe we got it set just right, and I believe it's going to follow where it needs to, and I think I'm going to go to 2.2 opposed to 0.3, and that should be a good sweet spot for us, and we are going to get there. Yep, look at there. Looks like we got it set. And if we have to go to point 1, that'll be fine as well, because it is a long flight. So let's see what this does for us. Yeah, looks like we got it set pretty good. Beautiful country. We're climbing tremendously, huh? Let's put this thing back down to 14. 1, 2. The auto thrusters on. I want this thing to hold. I'm not sure why it won't hold. May go to autopilot for a little bit. See if that'll take us to where we need to be. Looks like we're holding about 38,000. I'm gonna drop this thing all the way down to 13.6. Let's see if that is our sweet spot, so we can stay at the 35,000. Because now, you know, I want to kind of see the country a little bit. Like I said earlier, we're gonna do a flight with a smaller plane so we can kind of experience these ranges, mountain ranges, beautiful part of the western part of the United States. Just a place that I've never been before. Well, no, I've been one time to California. It's almost 20 years ago. But it's no place that I haven't, you know, spent time there. It's, you know, lived there or months there and those types of things. So there's a lot that I want to see there. And this is the easy way right now, due to COVID and those types of things, and hopefully this pandemic allows us to, it goes away and allows us to get back completely to where we were. I'm kind of questioning that right now, yeah, got to do some traveling, got to get to the West Coast. All right, flying high in the sky, we should have seen a lot of planes underneath us. And I saw one above us. We were probably at about 36,000 feet at that time. 35,000, somewhere around there, and came above us. I haven't seen anyone else. Usually this is a very populated section as far as air travel on this game, I've noticed. So when we started this game, when it first was released on the Xbox, we started on the Series S, and what I've done is essentially try to travel North America. I haven't gone through Canada, but you know, most of the North Americas. So I started from Richmond, Virginia, and I went all the way down through the Keys, through the islands, came up through Mexico, went up through the west coast of the United States, and took off from Washington all the way across to New York, and down back through Richmond. Completed that. It took me about a week or so, you know, not just strictly playing this game, playing other games, but it took me about a week or so to be able to accomplish that. And so yesterday we started from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and we're going across the country. Did a couple flights yesterday, and doing this flight here to complete that task. We used 3 planes. We used the CJ4 for the first 2 or 3 flights. I don't have the model number for the next, the last flight that we did for the 747. It's a double engine propeller jet. Can't remember what it is right now. And we did this flight here. This plane here from, I believe it was Nashville to Tulsa, and then Tulsa to Oklahoma City with this plane here. Tulsa to Oklahoma City was that double engine propeller jet. And then from Oklahoma City we took a 747 to Las Vegas. We completed that, and now we're from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. We're completing that with 3 planes. It would have been much easier to fly the 747, faster airspeeds, of course. But the CJ4 did a really good job. It's a very comfortable plane to fly, and it's probably my favorite plane. It's probably my favorite one to fly right now. But I'm trying to get used to this 747. See if I can handle the big boy. Alright, so we're going to go 13.8. If it wants to take it. Let's see if we can get back up to 35,000. Looks like fuel savings is going on. Our engines are thrusting at 0 right now, it looks like. Maybe you guys can show me that. I see a 27%. I don't know if they're running at 27%. I don't know what LVR means. So if you guys can help me out with that, that would be appreciative. It looks like there's a consumption savings going on. It's very quiet and flowing the way it needs to. Man, I wish we can get some wing shots and get to the back of this plane. It's okay. We'll do a flight with the 737. I know that one will allow you to do that. And I may even purchase some planes and try to expand it. There was an older plane, I don't know what model it is, that I want to break out or purchase and break out, fly and get used to. It's a very interesting looking. I'm gonna put this rudder back to 0.3 because it looks like we're drifting. Let's go to 0.4. Take it. Yeah, there we go. See if it'll take us back, because we're back at 253 again, and that wasn't enough trim to the rudder. Yep, it's bringing us back. There it is. That's fine, but it should ease us back to where we need to be, closer to our heading. Don't know if we need to check. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's leave it there. It looks like it wants to float there, and this is close enough. I just don't want to go beyond the 53 because I want to get there as quick as possible, straight line. And I understand that's not how flights really work. We don't fly in straight lines. I know, but that's what we're doing here in this simulator. We got to go back to 14. We're dropping too much. We look for the engines to pick up in a second. They should. 30,000 isn't bad either, though. It looks pretty comfortable. I have not heard ATC at all since the takeoff, so I'm not sure where they are. That cut out there. That is amazing. That's why we got to get a smaller plane. We got to get down there so we can see these things. Because that is beautiful. We're at 471 nautical miles away from our destination, LAX, Los Angeles. Skies. Well, we have some clouds, but it's beautiful skies, clear weather. We're above the weather patterns pretty much. Picking up because they want to be able to keep. Let's pull this up. Eventually I'm going to get this thing dialed in and understand how to set the pitch and those types of things to achieve the heights that we want. Like we're just playing with it, trying to learn it. Looks like the engines are picking up now. It's trying to climb. The auto thrusters, auto throttles, whatever you want to call it. They're picking up tremendously to try to get there. See, we had dropped 10,000 feet since we went to auto. We're holding a little bit better. It wasn't perfect, but we were holding. Looks like 4 is too much, so we'll go back to 3. That should be a sweet spot. And we know that this is a 60 hertz game, and pretty much run at 60 the entire time. Sometimes when we get into plane, you see, I don't know if you can see it on your screen. No, I don't have that displayed. We can drop down to 45, 55, but it typically holds 60 with the Series X. We got to test this on the Series S. We'll do that But if we're moving the screen around like this, it's holding 60. But we go out of the plane and do a lot of moving around, it'll jump down to 55. But it'll quickly get back up to 60. So it does a really good job at holding 60 frames per second. I don't see how this game, I mean, you wouldn't need anything more than 60 frames per second. But with everything that it's pulling in, I don't see how the Xbox would be able to push it any higher than that. I mean, this is pretty graphically intensive, especially if you get lower to the ground and start pulling down more information at once. Trying to get more clarity and those types of things. Let's go back to 2. Getting a little bit too far off of our heading to the other way now, so we'll stay at 2 and let that thing ride out. We're about 47 minutes into our flight, and still have 454 plus nautical miles to travel. This was originally about 650, 660 nautical miles, I forget now. So we've traveled about 200 nautical miles. They say it's supposed to be a 2-hour flight. Feels like it's going to be a little bit longer than that. We'll see. Thank you for anyone that's watching the video at this point. I hope you can stay with us. Shoot me some messages in the chat. See what we want to talk about. Like we were saying before, we want to make this a safe space for people to be able to talk and express themselves in a positive manner. Judgment-free zone. We kind of like what's that gym? The judgment-free, the little purple gym that people go to. They don't want people making a lot of noise, slamming weights, and all of that stuff. Planet Fitness is what it's called here on the East Coast. So yeah, we're a judgment-free zone here. We're only here to uplift and help people move forward. We're not here to slam or bash, because I'm still learning. I know I'm doing a ton of things wrong, but I'm trying to get there, and I want you guys to help me so I can do it right the next time. So I think this is fascinating. This game on an Xbox is tremendous. Who would have ever thought it? And the fact that it can play on that Series S is amazing. We have an $800 gaming PC here in our house that can barely run the game. So that's why I made the reference to the Series S being equivalent to about $1,100 gaming PC. I really mean that, and I stand by that. I really think it is equivalent to about $1,100, what you can buy for about $1,100. To be able to run 120 hertz on that $300 console, the value of that thing is tremendous. It is tremendous. And the fact that now you can literally go on Best Buy's website and order it, and you'll have it. You can go pick it up, or you can go in there and you may not be able to get it off the shelf like that, but you can go online and typically you can buy that thing from Best Buy. I just did it a week and a half ago for another one. We have 3 of those Series S's in our house, and one Xbox Series X, and we have the PS5. I'm telling you, the value for the Series S is tremendous for $300, and then Game Pass makes it all the better, because you can play all of those games, and they're not shabby games. I mean, there are some games that, Call of Duties, Vanguards and the Battlefield, but you get, 10 hours of Battlefield, this 20 the new Battlefield 2042, I believe. You know, you get 10 hours of it. You get to try it out. You know, games like Madden, you know, you get the EA Play. You get 10 hours to try them out to see if you want to buy it. That is tremendous. You know, the day one releases, I think we have 31. I read last night there were 31 day one releases for 2022 that's already scheduled. 31. That's a ton of games. You know, if you do the math, what you pay per year for Game Pass is equivalent to buying 3 games per year. If you play more, then Game Pass is worth it for you. You may have to buy 1 game throughout the year that you want. You may have to buy 2 games, right? But to have essentially an unlimited library, it is amazing. Because I'm telling you now, I would not have spent money on all these games that I'm playing. I would have never been able to try them without Game Pass because I wasn't going to buy them. I would have probably purchased Forza, you know, maybe Madden, stuff like that. I maybe would have purchased Flight Simulator, maybe. But when I realized that it was coming on for free, or not coming for free, but coming to Game Pass, I knew it was a must buy. I had to invest in it. I had to invest in it. So, just the value of Game Pass is tremendous. The titles that they're pulling in, the studios that they're purchasing, is amazing. Halo, the multiplayer is amazing. Getting on Halo, a lot of people are gonna crush me for this. The campaign for Halo is, I've never played Halo before, right? Because I'm not a real gamer. I haven't played since NCAA 14 on the Xbox 360. So I don't play games. I don't typically play games, but the last year I've been playing games. Since last February, the COVID and all of that stuff staying in the house, I had to have something. So my wife went out and got me a Series S. And that was a hassle to get me the Series S back then. But Halo, like I said, I've never played it before. I can't believe voices of those little minions, or whatever you want to call them, they agitate me. It just seems like a kiddie game to me. And when you play the multiplayer and you play the campaign, it's like 2 different games to me. Campaign, you can take that and throw it in the river. The multiplayer is one of the best multiplayers I've ever played in my life for shooters. It could be the best. It may be the best. Just don't understand the campaign with Halo. It's just too kiddie. You have big monsters with deep voices. Then you have these little monsters that sound like it's a 12-year-old's game. And no offense to 12-year-olds, but I see a lot of adults playing Halo. So are many people playing the campaign, or are they just playing the multiplayer? That's a question that I have that I would like answered. Are people playing the campaigns anymore? Call of Duty, I can see people playing the campaign because it's more real life. Battlefield, yeah, I can see that, but this Halo thing is very weird to me, and I know I'm going to get crushed for that, and I don't care. But to me, it's just a very weird game. It's just, it doesn't match up to me. It really doesn't. And maybe it's me. I like the realistics of things. You know, I'm playing a flight simulator. The realistics of it. You know, I play Farm Simulator. The realistics. Madden for a sports game. It's realistic. What it is, it's realistic. I like realistic games. I like the Forza game. How good the cars look. They don't sound that great to me, to be honest with you. Inside the car they sound great. Outside the car they sound like trash. The game looks very well. I tell you, if we could have the Forza 4 gameplay with the graphics of Forza 5 in the world of Forza 5, the map of Forza 5, with the gameplay of Forza 4, it would be the best game I've ever played in my life. The glitches early on with Forza was tremendous. People disappearing, falling off the map, all of that stuff. I still don't see many people driving on the interstate. You know, I know at Forza 4 we would post up on the interstate and you would see in a span of 2 minutes 40 cars come past you. You barely see 10 in a span of 10 minutes now. You know, there's real life players playing on the interstate, you know, driving around doing those things. I don't know if the world is so big and how they develop the game, and maybe some people can tell me how that works. I don't know if it's because the world is so large that they can't get everybody on there at the same time, so we're kind of in like sections on the servers. I don't know how that works. You know, we're in quadrants or something, and it only loads quadrants. I don't know what it does, but the world can't be that big that you see no cars, no real life players there. Every now and then you'll go to the airport drag strip and you'll see 5 or 6 cars there. You'll see people conjugate there. You'll see people at the base, the drag strip, the regular drag strip. You know, but you don't see the people like you used to on Forza 4, and that's what it's missing to me. The patches and updates that they've done has really fixed this disappearing thing. I haven't had anyone disappear on me in three or 4 weeks now, so that is tremendous. You can join parties pretty well now. I still think it needs a little bit of work, but it's workable now, where it doesn't really bother me for joining parties, you know, joining convoys, you know. But yeah, I just wish we could get that sense that everybody is there, like we used to. You know, a lot of people do drag racing on the bridge. That is pretty cool. But like I said, on Forza 4, you would go to the end of where those tunnels are, and you would go to where the Juggernaut race is, and there's always people conjugating there waiting to race, you know. And I just wish there were meetup spots there like that on Forza 5, where people are there. I like the arena and the parking lot there. That's pretty cool for like Let's Plays and, you know, car meetups and stuff like that. Those places like that are pretty cool. That reminds me of the place over by the drag strip at the festival on Forza 4. Can't remember. It's not Edinburgh. I forget what it is, but it's a little parking lot over there. That is pretty cool. I like the fact that Forza 5 has multiple festivals. That is excellent. So you don't have to travel so far if you can't fast travel at that point. You don't have to travel so far to get to where you need to be, or to get your car worked on, or make changes, those types of things. So I do love that they have multiple festivals. I've just been kind of put off with the Forza game. That was my favorite game this year, Forza 4. And this one doesn't seem like it's living up to it. Like I said, the graphics are better, the cars look better. They sound better for the most part. Outside of the car, I don't know. Inside the car, they sound pretty good. Yeah, I just wish we could see people on Forza. See more people. I know that was a long rant. It's just something I wanted to talk about. Alright, so we adjusted the trim to 14.9. We're climbing a little bit too high. I want to bring it down a little bit. Now it's getting to 40,000. Bring it down. 14.6 is where we're going to leave it. I think that's going to be alright. We can travel a little bit above 35,000. But it looks like it's holding pretty well now. %. 398 plus nautical miles to go. So we got almost half of it. Well, no, we didn't. We got about 250 nautical miles completed. About 400 to go. This is definitely longer than a 2-hour flight. That is for sure. Slight adjustment. I want to keep climbing now and trying to get to 40,000. Now I don't want to. See that thing level out a little bit. It looks like it's pretty level though. It's the look of the beast. Beautiful. 747 is a beautiful object with the sun. Alright, got that screenshot. That's beautiful. Alright, in the chat we have Hypeboard Gaming, Walter, Amy Allen. Hello, thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like football world. Thank you for joining. Right now we have a heading of 255 and now we are at 256 at 375 nautical miles out from our destination of 650 plus nautical mile flight. Vegas to LAX. Here we come. We've just exceeded 40,000 feet. I'm going to trim down to 14, and we're going to leave it there and see where that takes us. Looks like the plane is pretty happy. We're at 87% with 44% fuel. We should be okay to get there. We will be pushing it close, so we may need to dial this thing back and get that thing down to about 70% for a while to try to save some fuel. So we'll see where the 14 puts us. It should have caused us to use a little bit less fuel. Matter of fact, we're going to go to 13.6 now. Let's do 13.7 and see where that takes us so that we can save a little bit, because we're spending a lot here at 87%. It's just breaking down now. Still climbing. 13.5. Let's stay there. I think we're getting to where we need to be. I believe one time before it was 12.8 to be able to do that. So we'll see what that does for us. We will see. Alright, so we are now at about 32% with our LVR, and I believe it's getting to where we need it to be. Alright, so now we're really dropping. So I think I'm dropping this thing a little bit too much. So let's go 13.8. Let's see what it does. We'll get there, guys. I'm still learning. also believe we dropped it because it went down to 0% too. So I'm still trying to find this sweet spot with this stuff and see how it works. She's dropping tremendously. One day we're gonna get there. Still at a good height for where I want to be, though, to be honest with you. So I'm okay with leaving it where it is, as long as it doesn't go below 32,000. Looks like it's picking up now. I don't know why it drops so low, all the way down to 0. It just doesn't hold that well. And if someone can help me with that, I would really, really appreciate that. See something in the chat. V-Arc Tech. What is that? Let me know what that is. Not sure what that is. Something similar to another person. VAWR Tech. Is there something that I need to be doing here? Hold it. Maybe you're telling me how to hold the plane up in the air. If you can respond to me, that would be good. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, it just looks like spam, so you you all need to stop doing that. It's pretty weird. You can see we're at 319 nautical miles away from our destination. We are cutting this thing down. We're getting there. Of a 747 looks like a dolphin's head from certain angles. look at the mountainous area. See the roads. All the detail that they put in this is amazing. It is just amazing. Simply amazing. This is probably the worst seat. On the west coast, it looks like the sun is starting to come through. Kind of dim that down and make it more bearable. It's pretty cool. Looks like our heading is going off. We have a nav mode on, so we'll see how that acts. We it's too far, I'm going to bring it back myself. I think it's lining up. If you can see, the waypoint is to the left a little bit of the ending destination or the runway. I think we're coming in from the left, so I think that's what it's trying to do, is line us up there with a 241. We'll see if we get back to 255. We'll see. Don't want to adjust it now because I need to learn these features and functions. So it's kind of a test for me. But if anyone has the answer beforehand, let me know, and we can go ahead and make our adjustments. Let's check the glare on this panel with this and see if it makes a difference. That basically takes it. No, it does not. I don't know what this stuff does. I found our wipers if we need them. De-ice. Just cold to ice the engines. And if we run into that, it is going into January. There is a potential for that. Let's see where this thing is taking us. Looks like it's dropping us as well. I don't like that. Is it turning back? 226. The lower the number is, the further we are getting away from our heading. So let's see where it's taking us. Still doing it. Try autopilot. Got it on autopilot now. Let's see what it does. Definitely dropping. I don't like that. That's a bad idea. Looks like we're experiencing some turbulence here. Get out of this pattern a little bit. Experiencing some weather. Alright, my first thought is to fly above it. Sun peeking through. To acknowledge, and I think I screwed up my trim, so we got to put it back. I don't even remember what we had it on. $13.7, so we're losing all that now. So we'll pick back up. We got 241 plus miles, nautical miles to go. I'm glad that the co-pilot responded. the way you need it to. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 Xbox Series X. New flying. We'll get there. That's beautiful. Ascending 36,700 feet. Airspeed 203. Fuel levels 42%. Trimmed at 91% for the plane. Alright guys, we're within, guys and girls, we're within 200 nautical miles of our final destination from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. So thank you for those who have stuck with us and still watching the video up at this point. We're above 40,000 feet and we're going to bring this thing down. 41% fuel left. We're going to bring it down a little bit. Need to go to I'm gonna set this thing right at 13 and just leave it there and let it stay there. I think I had 12.8 at one time sometime back, and I think it was perfect with the auto thrusters, so we'll see what happens. It was clear weather that day as well, so we'll see. I think it's gonna put us where we need to be. Knowing now that the plane likes to fly at about 35,000 feet, that's some really good information for me. So I expect the engines to come down. Yep, they're starting to come down now. We have the auto throttle on, and see that the engines are coming down now. Going back up, we're coming through some weather, so it adjusts itself to hold its pace. Gonna find it, Danny. Yep, she's tremendously coming down now. .175 nautical miles away. Acknowledge the Los Angeles airport. We made contact with them, so they should be contacting us as we get closer. It's time to make those preparations to kind of come down a little bit, maybe 100 miles out from here. I think we need to be flying at 40,000 anymore. is trying to reach 40,000 for the remainder of this flight. So we're going to leave the trim at 12.8 and not touch it. That is the plan. Not touch it anymore this flight. Keep this bad boy level. Pretty windy now, so it looks like we're going over some type of wind patterns. It's very, very windy. Plane jumped up and down about maybe 25 nautical miles out from where we are now, maybe 30. The plane was jumping back and forth, and that's a lot to move that 747 like that. It's moving us now as well. So we are experiencing some wind with the engines not thrusting as well. It's allowing to move the plane a little bit. Descending, we'll reach 32,000 feet here pretty soon. We're at 32.6 now and descending. Starting to pick up now a little bit. The airspeed is dropping a bit. It likes to fly around 200 nautical miles, 200 knots. Right along at 156 plus nautical miles until we reach our destination, LAX, Los Angeles, from Las Vegas. We just hit some major weather right there. Major turbulence. As we drop, we're getting closer to the weather. So we're going to experience more as we get closer to these clouds. turbulence. Looks like we're going to be standing a little bit above the clouds. 30,000 is where we are and counting. Ascending. About time for that ATC to start communicating with us a little bit more. I'm sure once we get inside of 100 nautical miles, they'll probably start communicating more. I know around 80 they will be. And we'll follow their lead, make sure that we land properly, safely on the correct runway. I said I was going to leave it at the 12.8, but we're at 72% trim at 11.8 now. Let's see where it takes us. Kind of flatten this plane out a little bit. I have no problem with fuel, as we are 131 nautical miles out. We should be okay with fuel. Let's coast this thing on in. These graphics on this Series X is tremendous. I keep saying it, but I'm just so amazed. Big blue bird, blue and white bird to be exact. Five knots we're traveling at. 72% trim. That is at 11.8. 10.8. Let's wait a minute. 10.8. Yes, 10.8. Thank you for those that are still on the stream, watching live. This will go up on YouTube. Simultaneously, it is being streamed right now, running through Twitch, which is live, and Aircast. Twitch, Aircast, YouTube, via the Xbox Series X. Issue, I haven't been able to stream Farm Sim 22. I want to see if anyone else is having an issue. I'm looking at 5,100 streamers right now on that game. I'm not able to do that through the Series X. I'm not sure what the issue is, but it continuously blocks every time I try to stream. So if anyone has an answer for that, let me know, please. See a gamer tag. I don't know if it's just because it's so far away. I would like to see that. We got the sun and the balloon. there, it's almost game time. Game time is landing these things, and it's really tough for me to do. So we'll see. But it is almost game time. Nerves start to peak up once we get to the point where it's time to land this thing. Game time. This flight wasn't that bad. I got a little bit tired maybe about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Yeah, maybe in a 2-hour flight, just like they said. But I picked up a little bit. Like I said, it's game time now, so we're getting ready to get that landing in. We're going to stick this thing today perfectly, and the people are going to go home happy, because that's what we do. Hit our waypoint, and then we're going to fly on in there. We are getting there, people. Are getting there. Stay right here. Yep, we're gonna stay right here. 208 knots. Speed we're traveling at. Trim at 10.8, and it looks like it's doing pretty well. Sending the way we need it to. A little over 100 nautical miles away from our destination. So we will be there in no time. Be there in no time. Inside of 100. We really got to stick around now, guys. This is showtime here. Showtime. It is showtime. So once we get a little bit closer, we're going to turn the auto throttle off. We're going to turn on approach mode, and we're going to use the brakes a bit, the speed brakes. I think we're going to leave the trim where it is. Put our landing gears down, and we're going to make this thing work out. We're going to make sure there's no bumping heads. Make sure we choose the right runway. I believe it chose the next to southern runway, but I think we can land. I guess they'll tell us which one. I think we chose next to last, the next, the southernmost, next southernmost runway. Runway closest to Mexico. Next to the closest to Mexico. Down to Moreno Valley, that direction. Those beautiful mountains. Trim. The moon is still up in the air. Look at that. You guys see that? Look at that. Let's go ahead to approach mode. The altitude on. Gotta turn the sensitivity down. Approach mode is on. Have that on. You can leave the auto throttles because it's dropping the way I need it to right now. We will turn it off when we need to. Probably within 40 miles, maybe 30 nautical miles, we'll turn that off. We'll get the wheels out around 40 nautical miles, landing gears out around 40 nautical miles. Yeah, so I'll turn those thrusters off, auto thrusters off around 40,000. We'll turn the auto thrusters off at around 40 nautical miles, and we'll get those landing gears out 40 nautical miles. So we will be there in no time. It's just a few minutes. So yeah, we made up 15 nautical miles in a couple minutes. So we'll be there. Descending. We'll be at 16,000 feet here very soon. We're at 16,200. 16,200 is what that was. We are descending properly. We may not need to use the brakes so much because we're coming down. We need to be down to 2,350 feet within the next 72 nautical miles. So right now we're just below 16,000. So we're getting there. We are now starting to be able to see the terrain a little bit better. We're seeing the land cutouts, the roads. We're seeing mountains. So we're getting closer to the clouds, which we can see more of this beautiful terrain that we're going to fly over here pretty soon. Alright, 69 nautical miles away from our waypoint, or our approach. We are getting there, baby. I think I'll leave the auto thrusters on for a little bit longer than the 40 nautical mile limit. Maybe turn them off around 20. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think we're going to leave the trim where it is. We're at 10.8 for the trim. We have our approach mode on. We're going to leave the altitude hold on. Leave this at 35,000 because it's not bothering us right now. We may need to use the brakes a bit, but we will see. We're coming down, so we have eliminated the amount of brake we need to use because we're already slowing that speed down a little bit. We're descending, so we're not going to be coming in so hot. So hopefully it's going to be a smooth landing. We just want to make sure that we have enough thrust to be able to get there. But I can't do it with the auto thruster right now because I don't have full control of the plane, and I don't want to crash this thing when we land. So with the auto, I won't have full control of over the speed and all of that stuff with those thrusters. So I want to be able to control that myself as we bring it in. Oh, we're starting to fly this thing now, baby. Get comfortable and get ready for showtime. Yeah. We're quickly approaching 12,000 feet on the descend. Beautiful mountains, snow cap, slightly, maybe. You know, a little bit low. Lake Arrowhead is a point of interest over there. We'll do some point of interest flights as well. Got this thing here today, baby. Looks like we're setting up for a very smooth landing. We're at 11,000 feet. Don't know if that's too low right now. We got to get down to 2,350 as mentioned before. And we have 58 nautical miles to do that. So at the rate that we're descending, I'm not sure if this is too great of a rate of a descend. But we'll adjust as we get there. We have a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe not that long. We got a little bit of time to get there. Happy at the knots that we're traveling at, 205, 206. But we're dropping a little bit because we got thrusters on 0, or LVR is on 0. I believe the engines are running at 26%. I'm going to find out how to read that later on. But we're getting a view of the beautiful mountains. I don't know what range this is, but it is beautiful. The plane is starting to pick up now because it is starting to drop a little bit. We're riding on 0 probably for about 40 to 50 nautical miles. 10,000 descending. That ridge over there is pretty nice valley. Beautiful cloud cover today. I hope that it does not cause any issues for us on the landing. We do not want any issues on our landing. Out the window. Wish we could go out, but we can't. There's a couple of holders over there. "51 nautical miles away from our approach. 61 nautical miles plus away from our landing spot. Our runway. Look at that road on the mountains. Very pretty. A little more detail on the Series X and the Series S, even at this height. 8,760 feet at the time of the comment. And you can see more detail, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Got some buildings down there. We're starting to be able to see some buildings. 8,500 feet and descending. Right in the middle of the clouds. Pitch at 10.8, 72% pitch. Trim. 8,000 feet altitude. 47 plus nautical miles away from our approach, as we need to reach 2,350 feet at that time to descend to that point. LVR at 0. Engines appear to be spinning at 26%. Thank you for staying with us on the stream. It's showtime now. Here is showtime. Landing this plane, taking them off and landing them is showtime. That is showtime. That is showtime. 500 feet above There's terrain, level of terrain here. There we go. I'm getting close. So we got to pay attention to these things now because we're getting up into the mountains. Don't know what to expect. Look at the map. I'm getting close here. We're real close to this range here. We need to lift a bit. Hard to see. I believe the red is when you're in serious danger. Orange is when you're getting real close. So that's how we'll read that. So we're gonna have to be inside here for a little bit to make sure that we can get through this cloud cover. This is beautiful. Looks like we're going through maybe some storm. $1,500 feet above that landmass. We'll go ahead and get the landing gears out. Go ahead and get a little bit higher. We're getting real close. Got the gears out as well. There's more friction plane, so we're going to go ahead and climb a little bit. Tall range here. We're about 6,500 feet at that point there. It's a pretty tall range. Excuse me. Alright. Looks like we'll go through some weather here as well. No need for the wipers yet. Doesn't appear to be. Dark clouds though. Pretty dark clouds, pretty dark clouds. Trim's at 5.8, that's what the plane wants to do. I say we leave it there. We gotta descend anyway. We had to climb to get over that mountain range. I don't know what that range is, or was. Beautiful. We're hitting the city. We are 30 nautical miles away from our approach and 40 nautical miles away from Los Angeles Airport, or at least our runway. Start descending. Go right into these clouds. Showtime. A lot of action before we land. That's pretty fun for me anyway. I'll put some more trim on here though. It's coming down too fast. 8.5. 24 nautical miles away from our approach. 35 nautical miles away from our landing. We are in some weather. I really need to climb. I just want to hold. 7,000 feet right now. If it comes down, that's okay right now because we're getting close. Got our gears out. We got our leave auto until we at least pass our approach. Because if I adjust the height, the engines will adjust to get me there. So that's going to help me. One less thing I have to worry about until we reach the point where we're about to land. Sorry for the noise, moving the headphones around a little bit. Alright, beautiful land, lots of houses. I'm sure there's a bunch of buildings down there, a little bit of mountainous areas in there. I wonder if we're at the Marino area. Track down there. Baseball field, start to see that type of stuff. To more densely populated areas. 6,500 feet and descending. We should be reaching 2,350 feet within the next 17 nautical miles. So it looks like we got it mapped out pretty well. We have our trim at 8.5. Our auto throttles on. We have approach mode on. We have our landing gears out. We probably took them out a little bit early. Probably could have taken them out around maybe 10 nautical miles back, opposed to maybe 30 nautical miles back. But it's okay. 35 nautical miles back. But that's all right. Got them out now. We're ready to rock and roll. No rolling and no rocking. Not hitting any rocks, and we're not going to roll. We're going to land smoothly. There are some destinations. City of Industry. Can't pronounce that. I can't pronounce that either. It's the valley to that word. You can help me out with that. Looks like we're coming into an industrial area where we see some larger buildings, maybe shopping malls and things. Is what we see. Man, it's so flat. So mountainous, but then it gets so flat. It's very strange. Avocado Heights. I can pronounce that. Like a living place. 7 miles, nautical miles away from the approach. 2,350 is where we should be. We're at 4,100 right now. Getting ready for showtime, baby. 107 knots is what we're traveling at. Excuse me. Long Beach. It's almost that time. Those hills passing over that. It's very nice. Cloud cover is blocking us a little bit. We're getting very close, and we're seeing details that we did not see. Yes, that is beautiful. Man, we gotta fly over this. It's so beautiful. Alright, approach 7 miles, 2,350 feet. We're at 2,900, 2,800. Maybe descend just a little bit lower than where we need to, so we may have to pull up just a little bit to get there. But we're spot on it though. We're right there. Our approach is pretty good. Approach is pretty good. We may have to pull up just a little bit because we may be descending just a little bit more than we need to. I'm going to turn the auto thrusters off now because I'm getting very low. Auto throttle's off. I'm lower than that now. We're at 25%. I don't think we even need the speed brakes. May have to pull it back a little bit, but fine, just a little bit. At 2,350. I want to do that. I want to have it right. It's showtime now, baby. 2.5 nautical miles away from the approach, and we have reached 2,350 feet that we need. Climb to about 24. Okay, we'll do that. And we're about to start hanging our right in just a second. Clouds are going to make it pretty difficult, though. They are going to make it pretty difficult. Oh man, this is pretty tough, guys. Turn our landing lights on. We got the landing lights on. Where's that runway? I don't see the runway, guys. This is gonna be a doozy. Hopefully not as much. See it? Driving that thing now, baby. Alright. Showtime. No runway in sight. 7.8 nautical miles away from our destination. Hopefully the clouds let up. You can see the runway. Let up for us. Give me a break. Where is it? At 22%. Where is it at? Where is it? Where is it at? Beautiful. Okay, oh, we're lined up. Okay. And we're next to the right. Speed brakes. We need the brakes.
200, 140, 10.
Oh my God. Alright, guys. What just happened to us, right? Just man, right on top of my man.
200, 20.
Man, that was bad for the video. Actually, terrible that we did that. That was terrible. Let's go ahead and talk to ATC. Anything out of them. Yeah, that's another thing. We didn't get what we needed. I'm not blaming the landing on that, but we didn't get anything out of our ATC at all, and that could have helped us, I believe.
Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra 747 taxi to parking.
Strolling around.
Boeing Alpha Sierra 747 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Bravo Bravo 17 Charlie Bravo Sierra Charlie. Boeing 747 hold position caution other traffic. Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Bravo Bravo 17 Charlie Bravo Sierra Charlie Boeing 747. Boeing 747 continue taxi.
Man, that was a terrible landing. Terrible, terrible, terrible landing. But we made it, guys. We made it.
Boeing 747, did you copy? Roger, Boeing 747.
Landing the 747 at way too much speed. Just trying to recap what we did. Way too much speed. I said I didn't need air brakes. Couldn't see the runway until right at the last minute. Didn't have the ACT. Not blaming them at all. I still screwed up the landing. Just going way too fast. I mean, that's 100% what it was. I was just going way too fast. But we're going to learn from that and get better. Learn from that and get better. Taxiing. I think that's the plane that I landed on top of. No, he's about to take off. That'd be good for us to see. Slow this thing down a little bit.
Boeing 747, hold position, caution, other traffic. Boeing 747, continue taxi.
You want me to go, or do you want me to stop? Is he saying I can go?
Boeing 747, please acknowledge. Roger, Boeing 747.
I don't like
669er, continue taxi.
how when you interact with the ATC, unless I don't know what I'm doing, but you totally lose control over your plane, and it kind of messes you up a little bit. Me up, anyway. That's the plane that I landed on top of right in front of us. Dude, I am sorry that I smushed you. and killed everyone on board. But I did that, and I apologize. And I really want to see this guy take off to the right of us. He needs to hurry up, because I want to see it. And I am not rushing you, brother. Pretty nice plane. Hopefully it takes us to a... Well, I stopped at the runway. I didn't do that. So we'll see how that works. But I would like to see the big thing pull out and see the passengers walk through it. And that would be pretty cool. But I don't know how to do that yet. So once again, if someone could help me with that, I would be greatly appreciative.
Ground American 233 to request taxi to parking.
American 233 to taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Zulu Echo Echo 15.
Taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Zulu Echo Echo 15 American 2332.
Boy, that landing, I'm so embarrassed of that. That was terrible. When is my guy gonna take off? He's setting that thing up, huh? I wanna see it before we go. That would be nice for our video.
Hold position, caution, other traffic.
And I'm gonna run over a few trucks.
Boeing 74 continued.
Yes. And I gotta take off into a guy and have a guy taking off.
Boeing 747 acknowledge last transmission. Ground Boeing 747, say again. Boeing 747, continue taxi. Roger, Boeing 747.
Oh, that's the traffic. Oncoming traffic with buses. Come on, baby. There's another guy taking off. Wow, there it is. Didn't see anything. Just closed up. There it is. Okay, so let's see, baggage service.
Alpha Sierra 747, can you please send the baggage? Boeing Alpha Sierra 747,
that. Baggage service. Putting bags there, I guess that's for takeoff if you were going to take off. That's okay though. It's pretty neat. I hadn't seen this yet, so it is amazing.
Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, I have done with the baggage service. Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, could you please send the catering truck? Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, the catering truck is on the road.
Alright, there's the catering truck. This is what I wanted to see. I think I pushed a button, ruined it. That's okay. Catering truck. Come on. That's the catering truck. My man. There you go. Go ahead and get that food loaded in there, man. Whoever you are. You've seen that, right?
Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, I am done with catering services. Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
Jetway never connected, brother. So let's connect it. This is neat to me. I haven't seen this one yet.
Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft? Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, the jetway is going to be connected.
Okay, I was too far away. Maybe. I don't know. That's neat to me. So neat. ATC, and let's disconnect that because I've seen it now.
Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra 747, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
That's great. That's pretty cool. Is there anything else? I'm not going to turn the thing off or anything like that. We've done enough. All right. The stream is done. I appreciate those who have watched. And is there anything else? I'm not going to turn the thing off or anything like that. We've done enough. All right. The stream is